Hello there, my name is Michael Maynard and welcome back to Gorilla Picking. Now, what we're going to do today, folks, is talk about and in fact pick this absolutely gorgeous lock. It is a Southern steel jail lock. It's a prison lock. These things, locks of this size and shape and form factor are called Moguls, in fact. So this is a Southern steel Mogul. Now, the core of this thing is an Assa Twin, so you can see here we have got frankly just horrific bitting. I needed 4 different picks to get into this thing, so well, I'll show you the keyway first. Actually, the keyway doesn't exactly give a lot away, and you'll see that there's actually very little room in here to get a pick to pick the top pins. So to get that bitting, what I actually needed to do was use a very shallow pick and then a slightly steeper hook. So most of the picking I did was done with this, which is a Lock Tools half diamond in 25 thousandths, and then for the steeper pins up behind pin 3. So you can see here pin 3 is obviously the very low set one, and then surprise there's a bitch up behind it to pick there, pin 4. So to get that one there, I needed this, which is the Tiffany scimitar, also made by Lock Tools, obviously. And then if that wasn't hard enough, to get the sidebar pins, you get really good feel on those when you are picking them with a dimple pick. So I was able to pick pins, or at least sliders, I suppose, 1 and 3 with just an ordinary dimple pick. So this is my beloved Spooks dimple pick, but these higher ones here, so numbers 2, 4 and 5, those actually needed picking with a much steeper hook, and I had to actually get in there, sideways and, oops, that doesn't want to go away, sideways and lever those pins up with this one here. And this is another one of the Tiffany designed Lock Tools picks. You'll recognise those. So nightmare keyway, nightmare bitting, but we know about Assa. Assa don't give anything away. Couple more things to talk about in terms of the Assa side of this lock for a start. It is a fairly standard sort of a twin core. So we have got the counter milling along the top of these chambers here, and of course we have the standard Assa or Ruko pins with the little lips on them that interact with those. The sidebar sliders all have 1 false gate and 4 trues, so you've got 1 in the middle there, and then 2, did I say it the wrong way around? 1 true and 4 false gates. So the 2 false gates either side don't open the lock, obviously. And then the bitting on the sidebar is actually on the sidebar itself. So the bitting is determined by the position of these little notches, as opposed to these little notches here on the sliders. So all of the 5 sliders are the same, and the bitting's on there. Okay, other features of this lock. So that's the actual locking mechanism. This lock is hardened against pretty much everything except gorillas. It's hardened against drilling and physical attacks, because in a corrections environment, in a custodial environment, they know that prisoners don't really pick a lot of locks, they just attack them physically. So you've got a massively solid steel body here, and just for the sake of comparison, these things are huge. Okay, that's a normal key, right? And the lock just dwarfs that. It's about the size of a just less than a tennis ball, I suppose. So anyway, massively heavy steel front to the thing. Anti-drill pins at the top here, so we've got anti-drill pins going down there, protecting the top pins, and we have also got this anti-drill plate, which is just slid onto the front of the core, in fact. So here's the core, pretty recognisable from every Assa Twin you've ever seen, and then this thing slides over the front of that to provide yet more security. Fantastic design, eh? It really is. The other bit of the design that I really like is that the pins and the springs are actually held in place not by a strip of brass over the top here like most locks are, but in fact there is a little screwed threaded rod that goes through. So what you do is you load the pins and springs in down through the top here, and then put this rod through, if I can focus that on the camera. That goes through there and holds everything in place. And you'll actually see when I disassembled this, I actually trapped that first spring in the top of the little threaded rod here. Didn't affect the operation of the lock, but it certainly made it harder to pull apart at the end. So that's how this thing works, folks. That's 6 minutes worth of an introduction. I think that's probably enough. Now let's get to picking the thing. Back in a second. Okay, folks, well, let's get this lock open. So the key works beautifully, as you can see. There it is, an Assa Twin with eagle bitting, frankly. Eagle both on the sidebar and also on the top as well. You don't get any easy ones with these, let's be honest. So let's go anti-clockwise. I'm getting in there with a really low kind of a half diamondy sort of a thing, because basically it's the only pick I can fit in there. I seem to have exhausted that already, so let's get in there with a scimitar. Plenty of clicking coming from pins 4 and 5. On 6 is binding now. Just got a little bit of movement on the core. Big click on 4. Oh, and a ton of clicks on 1. I think 1 might have gone straight through the countermilling there. 6 nothing, 5 nothing, 4 nothing, 3 nothing, 2 nothing, 1 nothing. Okay, that was with the half diamond. Let's go through one more time with the scimitar. Now we can't get under 6. So 5, nothing, 4, nothing, 3, nothing, 2, nothing, 1, nothing. Oh yeah, click on 1. Okay, did I drop anything in the process? Don't think so. Okay, let's see if the sidebar's doing anything. Yep, it is. Oh, okay, I'd call that a false set on the sidebar, wouldn't you? Okay, we're in and out of false gates on this sidebar, but because gee, everything's feeling set. Well, that can't be right. Yeah. Okay, one feels good. Oh, okay, yeah, two. I'm not getting high enough on two. Okay. Now I've got to get 5 a bit higher. Okay, which I have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, we're not open, so clearly I've done not quite enough somewhere. 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Dropped 2 in the process. Dropped 3 in the process. One, 2, 3. 4. 4's still not high enough, I don't think. How in the name of all that's holy okay, I think that might have got 4. And we're open. That was the there we go. That was the tension tool pinging. Okay, so now what we've got to do is get the thing stripped and show you guys what's in here. Okay, so there we go folks, that is what's in one of these things. Now you can see that we have got 6 top pins if you like and 5 sidebar sliders. The top pins are fairly conventional in that they are just the standard Assa or Ruko type pins that we know and love. I don't know if the camera quality is good enough to show you that, but you can see that they're these thin-lipped things, and then they interface with countermilling on the top of the chambers there, so you can see that that's fairly standard. And then the sidebar, all of the sidebar slider elements are the same, so the bitting isn't on the sidebar elements, the bitting is actually on the sidebar itself, and that can be the subject of a whole nother video, but the bottom line is that the clever stuff is on the sidebar, and you've really only got the false gates and the true gate on the sidebar sliders. So there you have it folks. It is a Southern Steel Mogul jail lock with a Assa Twin core picked. They hardened it against a lot of folks guys, but they didn't harden it against gorillas. Thanks for watching guys, comment below. See ya.